for salespeople who work with me. My hobbies are golf and my grandchildren, and how I help my clients grow closer to their true potential through gradual incremental behavioral change. All about gradual change. I have a program I've developed called Change is Good, you go first. You go, oh, what the hell are you talking about? So using this little format, we'll start in the rear of the room. Okay, your name, your company, responsibilities, how many salespeople on your team, your hobbies, and how you help clients.
Well, my name is Gene Eugene.
Hi,
I'm
Gene.
an independent distributor for a billion-dollar company from Asia. In essence, what those guys do, they bless everyone with a free organic product franchise. Nobody pays anything, and you share the wealth. You bless everyone you know with a free organic product franchise. And every Friday, the money that should go to the Walmart people, we share the wealth. It is a revolutionary business concept, and I'm here hoping at the end of this presentation I can have something to grow exponentially my business.
And how do you help your clients?
Well, the benefits are twofold. Number one, the organic product we have are not simply better; they are the absolute best on the planet. Period.
Yeah.
And we have a simple formula. We here in America they talk about customer success, customer satisfaction.
Yeah.
But we are way ahead. We are customer success because we have absolute quality products at absolute price, which is a difficult equilibrium. So to answer your question, the way we help them is by giving them what they can find anywhere else. It's amazing thing. Nobody knows about us in America, but they are all over the globe.
Wow.
They are trying to make ways here. So I'm hoping to be able to share some information with you guys.
Thank you.
We are the same company, yes.
Okay, young gentleman in the back.
May I ask a question?
Yeah.
What's the name?
The name of the company is Atomy. Let me spell that. ATOMY. Essentially, nobody pays anything to join. They give it to you. It's a franchise of organic products, and you pay nothing per month. The money we spend in traditional setting like Costco, we buy from ourselves, and every Friday we share the revenues.
Okay.
So it is an amazing concept.
Excellent.
Thank
Yes.
you.
We have 12 million people all over the globe, and they are new in America.
Welcome to America.
Oh, thank you.
Young gentleman.
All right, my name is Calvin, and my company is Solution Home Buyers. We're licensed real estate brokerage in Florida. I'm a licensed real estate broker, and we help first-time home buyers to buy a home. So we have a path to home ownership program where we teach people about credit and building up their credit score and financial responsibility, and then we help them to get into their first home.
Okay, what are your hobbies?
Playing golf, playing guitar.
You doing both at the same time?
I play golf and I play guitar on the golf course. It's really talented of mine.
Thank you. Okay, good. You help home buyers, new home buyers.
First time home buyers, people who have under a 580 credit score, they get their credit score up, they work with the loan officer, and then they can buy the house.
Way to go. Next gentleman over here.
Good afternoon, my name is Reggie Mignon. I'm owner of Lauderdale Lakes Collision Center. We are a body shop. We take care of everything from your insurance claim to your small repairs to lease return and so forth. My customer base is really insurance and referrals. I have a team of about 14 employees, two of them are writers, and my hobbies are, don't really have much hobby. I really watch, I'm actually a side entrepreneur, so I have several other businesses that I'm spending my time into, so that's basically it. I own a beauty salon, a cable company, and now I just joined forces with them with regards to the atomic product because they actually work.
Wonderful.
That's me.
Thank you. Peter?
And sorry for my back. My name is Peter Reese, and my company is iBrand, which is what I do. And it's a brand new company. I'm fresh down to Florida. I've been putting the company together about 3 months now. And what I'm doing is I work with people and companies on what their brand should be. before they get into branding. You know, that's how I help clients also, is if you have the right brand, which means you have the right core message and right value message, then everything else floats along on this branding highway. If you have the wrong message, then no matter how much money you're going to put into that, and I'll reference the new Coke, I think is a good example for those of you who remember that disaster. If you know, it doesn't matter. And what you do is, I also help people prevent people from turning away from them and looking at them, being looked at as amateurs because there's misspelling, there's bad grammar, bad English, whatever it would be on any of their marketing materials. That's one of my hobbies is, I just proofread without even thinking about it. And it's an old Italian word called scutch, which means I'm a nice troublemaker. All right, so that's what I do, and that's how I help clients, help them grow their business because they now have something to take to market.
Good for you. Yeah, everyone needs branding. Gentleman over here.
Yes, my name is Joseph Walstenack. I'm the Chief Executive and the General Counsel of Quality Trade International LLC. It's a full-service export-import trading company. I basically head of the company and act as their attorney as well and oversee what my other team members do. I've got 3 other team members, some in Florida and other parts of the country that work some full-time, other part-time. Basically, I travel a lot in my business over the years, and I always try and add a few days on to my travels as part of my hobby, I guess. So it's like free trips.
Why not?
And how we help the clients is meeting with clients, I try and determine if I'm able to assist in any way to increase their business. If they have any legal issues, I'm admitted, like in the U.S. Court of International Trade in New York, and some of the other, around here and in the Midwest and in the Pacific, in a few jurisdictions. Also, we try and determine if they have anything that's suitable for export, and if so, how to work with them to either do it on an agency basis, or potentially I have other people that would invest, or we might, if it's a good enough deal, buy it ourselves and handle the exporting.
Great, thank you very much. Next gentleman?
Yeah, my name is Hyman Sivia. I'm a real estate investor, and what we do is we help people that are in distress get cash, and we have creative ways of getting them the money so that they can get a fresh start.
Plenty of those, right?
Yes, sir.
So you help your clients get a first start.
Right.
How big is your team?
About 10.
Good for you. Okay.
What's the name of your company?
We buy houses fast and fair.
We buy houses fast and fair.
Yep.
Yeah, I've dealt with a couple of people who were in that business. Interesting. So, everybody needs to sell a house at some time.
Right.
And young lady that just came in?
My name is Lourdes Jimenez. I work for Mobility Global. We are an IT company because right now all the businesses run on the technology. We help our business, our customers to build and maintain a good infrastructure to run all the software and hardware and to have all the cybersecurity in place.
Oh, good for you. Everybody needs what you got, so that must be easy to sell. And the next gentleman over here?
Yes, my name is Alfred Haywood. I work with the real estate. I do real estate for my wife, but I work for a marketing and advertising firm called the Wiggins Agency. And we offer marketing solutions to small, medium, and larger size companies to bring their products and service to the marketplace.
Okay, and how do you help clients?
We create revenue. We put them in
Okay.
the marketplace in a way they'll be noticed, generate customer engagement. We do data mining, all kinds of things related to marketing and advertising.
Beautiful. And whereabouts in Boston are you from?
I'm originally from Boston.
Yeah, I know. You said marketing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I know where the hell you're from.
I saw you're from Connecticut, so I said, this guy gotta be okay.
I grew up in Worcester.
Oh, did you?
I went to
Worcester?
UConn, so.
Oh, okay,
Worcester?
yeah.
Worcester,
No.
yeah.
I'm from Boston, so I know.
Oh, you are, okay.
Okay, okay.
We're all Red Sox fans.
Yeah, I'm from, the South Shore, Stoughton.
Oh, yeah, I know so.
Yeah, I grew up in, Roxbury.
You're from New York.
And
Okay,
then moved to Stoughton and graduated high school in 1973.
that's awesome.
I went to high school.
All right, thank you. And this young lady?
I was 15 years ago.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Liz Johnson, and the company that I represent is Legal Shield. My responsibility is to bring peace of mind to small business owners. And my sales team is about 300, my sales team. And my hobby is walking and reading. And how do I
That's
help
hard
my
to do.
clients? I help my clients sleep at night. So therefore, we take the words away for small business owners. So we help them grow small business owners.
Oh, that's great, thank you, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
My name is Darren Wallace. I work for Hydra Hair Care. My responsibility basically is event coordinator, taking down, setting up at conferences and events where we showcase the product. Our main responsibility is to help people with natural hair find their natural curl pattern. The product actually defines natural curl pattern. So it's a hair product. It's about 5 people major people on the team, but then they have a lot of family members that help out in areas until they can grow the business bigger. Hobbies, I like reading. I like coming to seminars to learn. So I do that in my spare time. Okay.
Good,
Mhm.
thank you, yeah, and I'm a big fan of reading. You read 20 minutes a day, that's a book a week, 50 books a year, that's 500 books in 10 years. Your life will change based on the books you read and the people you meet. Okay, I'm not only a reader, but I'm an author, and I'm a big fan of libraries. There are 19,500 libraries in the United States, and you never have to worry about a parking place. And only 3% of the population have a library card.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, do you have one? Yeah, I asked people, show me your library card. What the hell, they're free.
I have 2.
I do, yes. No,
I haven't told the place I left yet, that I left. I
The
still
largest
borrow
library-
online.
The largest library is the Library of Congress, the second largest is the Library of New York, and the third is the Boston Public Library.
Yeah.
You haven't been there, go, it's a treat. You, sir.
My name is Jose Luis Mercado, and my business is A&M Big Center. I am the owner and the main consultant. We do business consulting, and my responsibilities is everything in the business. I handle my 2 partners that are my wife and my son, and my daughter. They generally manage me. This is all my thing. Okay, hobbies. I had a lot of hobbies before, but right now I'm very, a little more passive, and I just read and teaching. I love teaching. Okay, I say that teaching is my passion, but business is my profession. So, okay, how I help my clients. I say to the client, from marketing to cash flow, I make your business grow. And that's it, everything, marketing, cash flow, finance, cash flow, pay generating, whatever. I've been in the business consulting for years and years, large and small companies. So that's it.
Beautiful, okay, and you got Legal Shield.
We're not alone. My name's Steve Matthew. I'm an independent associate with Legal Shield. Responsibilities, like Liz was saying, we help people. Our sales team, we're all independent associates, so we work together. Hobbies, I flog, which is golf backwards, which is the way I play. If you saw me out there, but we have fun. Anyway, how we help clients, Liz was talking about small businesses, but we also work with individuals and families. Okay, go over there. Individuals and families, we level the playing field in the legal justice system so that everybody can afford attorneys, because if you don't know your legal rights, you don't have any. And we also have the most robust identity theft coverage in the country.
Thank you, Steve. And the gentleman who just came in, introduce yourself with your name, your company responsibilities.
Oh, sure.
How many people on your sales team, your hobbies?
Great. So my name is Ricardo Acuna,
Hi, Ricardo.
and
Hi.
hey, guys. My company is Complete Office. So we deal with office equipment, mostly trying to get the companies and their infrastructure together. Their IT, computers, printers, copiers, all that good stuff. Voice over IP, and I'm the president of the company, and our team is composed of about 18 people. We have an office in Dade and one here in Broward, and we have about 4 salespeople, six technicians, and the other people are just office staff. My hobbies: I like running. I like to do judo. I've been doing that since I was very, very young. And I guess the way we help the clients is just bringing up our infrastructure into a better systems. Mostly here in South Florida, the way customers work is they have like a peer-to-peer system. So they have information on one computer, information on another computer. It's never centralized. So what happens is that when somebody comes in and needs some information, but somebody's off or sick, they never get to that information. Sometimes the printing is an issue because the printing driver is on one computer, but if that computer goes down, then nobody else can print. So we try to fix all that so it's centralized and works better. Also the way of communication, because nowadays the printers and copiers, they are multifunctional. So you can send emails and send faxes and scan to folders and things like that, which a lot of people don't really use that to the max. So that's what
Great, thank you, Ricardo.
Sure thing.
All right, let's move on. Let's pretend our 2 hours are up, okay? It's 5 o'clock, we're getting ready to leave. I could do 20 hours, I could do 200 hours of training, okay? What specifically would you like to take away here today? Let's pretend it's 5 o'clock, you're leaving. What would you like to take away? Something today, a genius attack, something that's gonna help you grow your revenue in 2019.
Overcome objections.
Oh, yes, overcoming objectives. Yes. Beautiful. Yes, okay, good. Good. What else? Somebody else?
How to close business fast.
Right. Okay.
Faster.
Yeah, not a big, long sales cycle, right? Okay, yes,
Get into the decision maker, passing the gatekeeper.
yeah. Good. Beautiful. All right. Something else?
How to
Networking,
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
networking.
Networking, yes. And some people, networking is not working because they don't know how to do it.
Mhm.
They run around passing out business cards. I think that's networking.
Effective marketing techniques.
Effective marketing techniques.
Okay? One more.
How to find your prime client.
Right.
Like that.
Yes.
Don't want to waste time on somebody.
And that's prime clients.
Yes,
Yes,
To me, that's elephants, not ants.
yes.
Okay?
right. I don't want to waste my time.
No, I'm gonna hunt the elephants.
Yeah.
You can send me an extraordinarily large amount of money. And,
Mhm.
I used to have, my clients would have make one call a day to someone who could send you an extraordinarily large amount of money.
Mhm.
220 calls you would not have made in a year. Amazing what happens. You don't get through here sometimes. I had one guy got a division of Triple M and closed a whole lot of business. He was in real estate location business, and he called and got the right person at Triple M, and all of a sudden magnified his business. So it's up here, and deserve it, and you deserve to talk to the decision maker. Before we move on that, when I speak with business owners and I ask them, what's the biggest problem your salespeople have? Okay, 95% of the time they say getting to and speaking with the decision maker. 95%. I already know what they're gonna say. And that's the person who's got the budget, he's got the pain, okay, and he's got the decision. He can write the check or authorize it. And yes, sometimes he's a lot easier to get to than we think. We'll talk about that today, okay? Good stuff up there, guys. All right. So if you look in the inside, your first page here is my bio. I wrote it. My mother loves it. Okay.
How do you know?
Well, she told me when she wrote it before she died. Everybody got a handout? And I'm sorry, this young man, you came in to introduce yourself
Adriana,
with your company?
Complete Office, we're together,
Oh, you're together. Okay.
thank you.
Okay, so you can read my bio, I wrote it, you know, my mother likes it. And on page 3, for years, people asked me, you know, and I kept thinking, what's this definition of sales? What is sales? You know, it's not persuading or convincing or cajoling or getting somebody to do something they don't want to do. I don't like most salespeople. And I work with a lot of them. I don't want to sold, I want someone to help me buy. That's what a good salesperson does. Help me get what I want to get. You know? And so getting someone to take action consistent with action they believe they should take for their benefit and for which they will pay me my price. You okay with that? That's really what it's about. About, you know, what was the movie with Alec Baldwin? About salespeople? Oh, I forget the name of it now. Anyway, I'll think of it. And so, something that's very important is to be, particularly today, to be a student of people. So who are my firstborns? I know Joan is one, but who's my firstborn in the room?
First what? First what?
Firstborn in your family, or 5 years between you and an older brother or sister. Okay? Wow, we got a lot of firstborns. Firstborns are usually on time, pretty persnickety, tough on themselves. 50% of the U.S. presidents were firstborn. Think about Obama, and you think about Clinton, and you think about Reagan, and you think about, 50% of the U.S. presidents were firstborn. Okay? And how do you firstborns feel when someone squeezes the toothpaste in the middle and leaves the cap on?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Kill, right, Steve?
Oh.
Yeah.
What the hell is wrong with
They
that?
do that.
Oh my God. But we firstborns, how about my middle children? Who are my middle children here? No middle children. Middle children are the peacemakers. A lot of friends outside the family. Seldom forgive, never forget. Not in all the family pictures. Mom and dad didn't have time for that. Okay, but they're good team players. How about my last born? Who are my last born? Oh, okay, yeah, the fun lovers, the jokers, the actors, comedians. My neighbor and friend Joel Crystal, I always kid him about his brother Billy, who was the baby in the family. Billy Crystal always had to get attention, jumped up on the table, and, Who are my only children? Oh, no only children. They're even more intense than firstborns. I have a friend of mine who's married to one. He said he gets up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. She makes the bed. so be a student of people, okay? There's a great book
Maybe
I
she
read
doesn't
today.
want him to come back.
I read a book called The New Birth Order by Kevin Lehman. It's amazing. I'm a student of the birth order. I'll ask somebody, you the oldest in your family? Oh, no, I'm the baby. Probably a fun lover, joker, go to have drinks or something. The firstborn. I remember I had a meeting down in Miami with Carlos Posado the third, and I saw, ooh, third, he must be a firstborn. I better get there early. Okay, 10 minutes early. He said, Bernie, thank you for being on time. If I got there 10 minutes late and said traffic on the Palmetto was a mess, and we would have cleared. So, know your kind, know your prospect. Peter?
How do you judge a family that's all firstborns, we're all 5 years apart?
Oh my God, it must be hell. Everybody wants to be in charge, right?
Yep.
I'll take charges. Yeah, it's an interesting study. It's helped me a lot. A client of mine who's an only child, And he always has the last internet. Okay, Bill, all right, Bernie, all right, Bernie. All right, Bill, I know it's your internet, yeah. So, but I've learned to correlate his only child with his behaviors. Fascinating study. Okay. So let's go over on page 5. Take out your pen. Here are 40 common problems. All right? Go through these, take a minute, and check off those that you're in control or those that need improvement. Okay? Take a minute and go through these. Be brutally honest with yourself. Page 5. We almost finished? All right, add up how many you checked off that you're in control of or that need improvement. Particularly those that need improvement. How many did you add? Add them up. Okay, who wants to share with me? How many did you check off that need improvement?
I checked off 4.
4? What the hell's wrong with you? Get up here, you teach the class. Get up here.
I'm not finished.
Only 4?
Yeah, he's only in the third class.
That's your Steve. Someone else? Charles? What's your name? Charles?
Calvin.
Calvin,
I
sorry.
had like 20, I mean, I'm like 50%.
20?
Yeah, referrals and,
All right.
yeah, there's a lot. I
Good.
do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've done this exercise probably with 20,000 people or more.
Whoa.
The average I get when people are truly honest, 22.
All right, well, I'm close.
You're in the bog. We all need improvement in these.
Yeah.
Come on. If we all had all of these down 100%, we'd be superstars. No, we all need improvement. We gotta grow every day. We learn new ideas. How about the first one? How many of you checked off thinking over as acceptable as possible business? How many checked that one off? As in control? How many checked off as
Needing improvement.
needing improvement?
Yeah, needing improvement.
Yeah. Thinking overs, okay? How many times do you get TIOs? The only person thinking it over is you. A think it over is a no. Okay? So, Joan, say, Bernie, I want to think it over. Say that.
Bernie, I wouldn't think it over.
Joe, 95% of the time when people tell me they want to think it over, it's a no in disguise, or I've done a lousy job. Which one is it? That's all right. I want to get no's. Motivation, I call it. Get me a no. Right?
Move on to the yes.
So, Carlton, say, Bernie, I want to think it over.
Bernie, you want to think it over?
Do you want to think it over, or do you think it's over? Okay? Don't ever leave an office with a think it over, because the only one thinking it over is you. Okay? Now, if there is another decision to make in the process, that's different than a TIO. I don't accept TIOs. Okay? I had this one woman, she used to say, can you think out loud? I'm hard of hearing. It was her. It's cute. But a TIO is a think it over. You're not thinking it over. It's a polite way of saying no to a salesperson. So, something else on the list, these 40 common problems. A great way for us to think about what we need to work on and improve upon. Something else that you saw on there that,
Well, number 4 will be something interesting.
yeah.
Sometimes you get the person there and then you hesitate as to, so are you willing to move forward or not? So you give them all the info, so you just don't know what to say next to discourage them from going forward.
Yeah, exactly. You know, what would you like to do next?
Yeah.
And one of the things that I'm going to cover with you is what we call an upfront contract. When you go into a meeting, I always say, you know, what was your name again, Miguel? Louis, thank you for inviting me in. I always say thank you for inviting me in. Nobody ever invites you into a meeting. Louis, we've set aside an hour today of uninterrupted time. Are you still going to be okay with it? And let's pretend our hour is up and I'm getting ready to leave. What do you want to cover today to say you had a good meeting with Bernie? You want to go on? I know what my agenda is. I want to get his. And Louis, at the end of the meeting, if you see there's no fit, are you okay telling me no? And if I see there's no fit, you okay me telling me no?
Yes.
Okay.
And
And if
we say before, no about 1 hour.
yeah, still okay with that? Yeah. Always do this, okay? And if we do agree there's a fit before I leave, are you okay agreeing on what the next step will be? See where I'm going? Rehearse that, guys. I know you're only getting a brief, but it's so powerful. When you walk in, you look them in the eye, thank you for inviting me in. You set aside, well, I can't give you an hour, Bernie, you've only got 45 minutes. That's all right. Let's establish the time frame. And I say to them, you know, let's pretend I'm getting ready to leave. What do you want to cover? Well, I want to know about the training and the reinforcement and the cost and coaching. I know what their agenda is. I know what mine is. If you see there's no fit, you okay tell me no. They look at you like, what? But if I see there's no fit, you okay me telling you no? People are like, I wish I could take a picture of people. And if we agree there's a fit, you okay agreeing on the next step? It's all agreement. That's what a meeting is all about. And by the way, I never use the phrase sales call. It's always a sales interview. Because I'm there to get information, not give it. I'm not calling, I'm interviewing. Okay, think about that. You're an interviewer. I always thought that journalism would be a good school for sales training. Okay? Yeah. How many of you ever took a course in asking questions? Oh, of course you did. You know, Peter, where'd you take a course in asking?
Sandler, and I was also a sales trainer for Staples, corporate.
Who was your Sandler trainer? Who was your Sandler trainer?
Oh my God, that goes way back. I did my initial Sandler trainer. It was when they had 4 compartments on the submarine. That's how long ago it was. Ron Pisano.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He was the number 2 to David Sandler.
I worked with Sandler for 22 years.
And he always said, and we smoked in those days, the customer always lies.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Good stuff, good training.
Oh, it's great training, and Staples stole most of it. Actually, they got sued for it. But, you know, then we embellished on it and worked even wisely. But the upfront agreement and, you know, I'm okay, you know, and if I can stop it, you can stop anytime, I can stop at any time, we okay? It's all fabulous
Great stuff, yeah. I studied under David Sandler when he was alive.
Okay.
But he was like my coach, so, yeah, it's great stuff. Glad to hear you.
Yeah, I'm just loving the refresher.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's great stuff. But back to the sales interview, yeah. Something else on here, on the 40 common problems.
Let's finish 4 questions. The first, thank you. No, the first is not a question. The first is, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
Then, do you have an hour like we agreed before?
Yeah.
Then, do you agree to, if we see that there is no fit, we will, you agree to tell me no?
Yeah.
And the other one is, if we feel that it's a fit, you agree to the next steps.
Yeah.
Okay,
Beautiful,
thank you.
well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Yeah, that's the important thing. And I want to give you another tool right now. You might want to take this down. 5 steps for setting an appointment. Okay, this is really powerful. I've developed this over the years. You know, Joan, it sounds like we ought to get together. I'm having a phone conversation. Step number 1, got your calendar handy. Got your calendar handy. Everyone has a day timer or a calendar or iPhone, okay? Step number 2, what day are you looking at? What day are you looking at? Okay? Step number 3, we're gonna need about an hour of uninterrupted time. We're gonna need. If it's only a half hour, I'll take it, but we're gonna need, I need an hour. Not I need, we need, never use the word I. Step number 4, should anyone else be there? That goes to that decision process. Should anyone else be there? And my partner, my boss, my CFO. And step number 5 takes guts. Any reason you're gonna have to call me to reschedule? No, Bernie, I'm putting it, now we can send a meeting invite. No, I'm putting this down. Okay? And so, you know, very conversational. Got your calendar handy? I don't think we gotta get together. You got your calendar handy? What day are you looking at? We're gonna need about an hour of uninterrupted time. Fight for the other uninterrupted time. By the way, should anyone else be here? Yeah, any reason you're gonna have to call me to reschedule? No. I had a call with president of a public company, and he said, no, Bernie, I've got my board meeting that morning, but we can meet in the afternoon. I didn't want to meet with him after a board meeting. I said, Joe, you've got an important board meeting, let's reschedule. No, he said, thank you for being flexible. I want to meet with him. You just never know, you know, but
Okay, number one, got your calendar handy? Number two?
is, what day are you looking at?
Because I didn't get a chance to write them up.
That's all right. And fight for the time. We're gonna need about an hour of uninterrupted time. Should anyone else be here? 4. Am I going too fast? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
5, any reason you'll have to call me to reschedule. Now that meeting invite is really terrific, you know, send that. Great tool, good here.
How many people lie on number 4? Because that was always a problem.
Yeah. Should anyone else be there?
Yeah.
You mean you're the only one who makes a decision on this type of thing? Well, no, would it make sense to have Harry there?
Yeah, but I'm the first step.
Yeah, oh yeah, we know that. Remember, it's okay to lie to a salesperson and go to heaven.
What was number 3 again? Need what?
We need, get your calendar handy, what day you want. We need about an hour of uninterrupted time. Maybe you need 30 minutes, maybe you need 15, whatever it is. Very powerful, guys and gals. This has been proven over years. I want all my clients to follow a system. If you don't, you'll default to prospect system every time. How about one more on this list?
Getting referrals?
Getting referrals. Yes. Okay? Yeah.
On what list?
What number was that?
Oh, okay.
20.
Yeah. Passes up the best opportunity to get business, okay? Now, how many of you got a referral this week? Got a referral? Why'd you get a referral?
I'm in a car accident business, so I get tons of referrals
Yeah.
from other customers who get in an accident. They send theirs to my shop.
Yeah, that's a great way to do it, but most people don't get referrals because of 2 reasons. Number one, they forget to ask. Number 2, they don't know how to ask. So, take these percentages down, okay? Phone call is about 1% of business. You're gonna make a lot of dials to make phone calls. I still believe the telephone is very effective these days, more effective than it's ever been because so few people are using it. And everybody's hiding behind all the social media and stuff, but neither here nor there. If you get a lead from a networking meeting or a conference that Joan has set up, somebody at a conference, you probably close about 15% of those. Okay? I get a referral. Steve says, Bernie, call my friend John. He's expecting your call. %50 of referrals turn to business. I keep in my calendar, I make a note to give referrals to other people all the time. 50% of referrals. Okay? Make your clients your sales force. They'll sell for you. We just forget to ask. And it gets better. An introduction is 80%. Okay? Steve says, Bernie, I've got an introduction for you. We'll go to Abe and Louie's in Boca, my favorite thirst parlor. And I'm going to bring Henry along, tell him what great stuff you've done for me. He drinks Johnny Walker Blue, $33 a shot, so you're buying. And bring those smuggled Cuban cigars you have. And but I'm going to introduce you to, I'll close 80% of those. So where do I want to be growing my business?
Introduction.
Yeah, and referrals. And the main reason people don't is they forget And the second reason is they don't know how to.
They're afraid.
And they're free, yeah.
And they're afraid. I had someone just the other day, I was coaching, he's not reluctant to do that. Why? And you're in the
Because
auto,
of the rejection that he might get, so
Yeah.
therefore he's afraid of that, therefore he's afraid.
and I have a client of mine up in Malden, Mass. He's in the insurance business, Whittier, Hardy and Roy, it's a 100-year-old agency, young Stevie. He insures auto body shops. And he goes in, he says, thank you. He says, first of all, he says, what's your first name again?
Reggie.
Reggie, congratulations on becoming a client of mine. Okay, we're gonna get your policies in shape. Maria is my assistant, and we're gonna get those all delivered to you within a week. And if I've done a good enough job, and I've earned the right, Reggie, I'm gonna ask you for 3 referrals of auto body shops that don't compete with you. Will you be okay with that? This kid has built a business of unbelievable. If I earn the right.
The introduction turns them into a salesperson for you. They're
They-
selling you.
They sell for you. They sit there and you just, and the 4 magic words. 4 magic words. Who do you know? Who do you know who might have a need for an insurance claim that they just had who do you know who might have a problem with their legal? Who do you know who might have rebuilding their office and having the structure they want to go as they're growing? Who do you know? God, my friends, just remember that. It's magic. You don't have time to make cold calls. You're out there closing business. That's how you become double your sales next year. Questions about referrals? Introduction. Remember, everybody knows 250 people. Okay? President Johnson said when I shook somebody's hands, they know 250 people. It's worth 250 votes. When my father died, that's how many mass cards the Undertaker said to get 250, so I figured they must know. So if I look at the 4 of you, you know 1,000 people. You just might know somebody who wants to hire Bernie to do sales consulting.
Yeah, that I read a long time ago, some guy, I forgot his name though, that he was the best car salesman in the year. And he said that if you count at the funerals, the average is 250 people. So every time you do something wrong, they're gonna talk to 250 people.
You're right. I forgot it. I know legend guy. He's written automobile. Yeah.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah, I remember it well. Yeah, you're right. So don't be hesitate to go through these. Probably good for you. 20 out of 40. You're the star of the class. But we all need help. Okay. My friend Wayne Dyer. You ever hear of Wayne Dyer?
Yeah.
Wayne always used to say, "Always be a beginner, never be an expert. Learn something every day." Okay? That's what life's all about. He said something else that I agree. He said, if you have a choice to be right or be kind, be kind.
Totally.
Great. Wonderful man, he died a couple years ago.
Yes. If we have all these things, why do we need a web page?
Why do we need a web page?
Because with LinkedIn and or maybe Facebook, we have enough to get all these referrals and introductions.
Maybe we don't. But oftentimes when you do get a referral, if I get a referral from someone, I'll go to their website.
Mm-hmm.
First place I'm going. I went to I think I was looking through it, I saw Wiggins and I saw Boston. I thought, and of course I heard you say Marketplace too, so. But, yeah, Peter.
Well, I was just gonna say, it's confirmation. You know, and I don't have my website up yet now because I'm just finished my logo for my brand, but it is automatic confirmation. Do you exist? Are you a professional? And, you know, LinkedIn is good because LinkedIn I use it to explore to find people, but then I'll click over to their website to see, you know, what's their message, you know,
Yeah.
and also if the website is, from my perspective, bad English, then we got a problem. But you know, if I can, and please tell me if I'm talking too much. I do that.
No, that's right. That's right.
No, but one of the things about referrals, and I'm working with some people on building a network of closed networking communities, similar to BNI, but better. But where the idea is not, I'm gonna refer to you, what are you gonna give me? But I'm just gonna refer to you and do right.
Yeah.
I have somebody I know that you can help, and it comes back in other ways, just do it the right way. By
Be a
being-
go-giver, not a go-getter.
Absolutely, so thank you.
Yeah, no, it's, I keep in my, I was at a networking meeting and, one of my friends said he's taking over Inverary Country Club. He's gonna be replacing, some of the building and the roof. I said, oh, I got the guy for you, best roofing, Greg Wallace, he's terrific. Let me give you his name. I called Greg, I said, Greg, I got a referral for you. Oh, Bernie, thank you. I turned my son Zach over to it, got a $200,000 roofing deal. But all you gotta do is be a go-giver. Yes.
You know, I just wanted to kind of echo what you were saying about the website. Website is really critical in today's marketplace. And not only in terms of having a presence in the marketplace, but a website that needs to work for you. If you just have a website up and it's just up and people are going through it every day and just looking at it, and you're not able to gather, the website should be working for you.
Yeah.
A website can gather who's been on it, how long they've been on it, what did they look at, and what are their interests, what were their interests. And you can find that out, those kind of information. But just having a website that's outdated, that really shows a lot. You have to have a website with relevant content. It has to be engaging and it has to work for you. Just having a website is like having a store with the door closed. But a website is crucial today. Because the first thing people are gonna do is go to your website.
Yeah.
And if it's not engaging, and if it's not answering questions in a problem-solving way, then it's useless.
And it shouldn't be about me, it should be about the viewer.
Oh, absolutely.
Not about me,
Right.
I'm bigger, I'm better, I'm faster, all that stuff.
Right, don't have a website, just to blow up your ego.
No.
And if it's not updated, if it's not constantly being
Right.
renewed.
Right, it becomes old.
Forget
very quick.
SEO and Google's, rankings and all that, yeah, you have to do it for that.
Yeah.
But it's also, okay, guy has a blog, but he hasn't done it since January of 2017,
Right.
and that's not that long ago, but it is.
It is.
Yeah.
Don't have the blog then.
No, and that whole social media, I'm working with a young guy right now, and I'm paying him a lot of money, but it's, got me on Pinterest and all this other stuff I don't even know how to spell, but it is important, and I myself will go. And one of the things I look for when I walk into a company, in fact, I mentioned to Al here, and they don't have it up yet, but is I look for, on a website, and I look for, in a building I go in, I look for a mission statement.
Mm-hmm.
Always look for a mission statement.
Page 1.
A mission is what we're about, why we exist. People confuse a mission and a vision. Okay? My mission is to challenge my clients to grow closer to their true potential through gradual incremental behavioral change. Okay? The greatest mission statement I've ever seen, 12 words. To organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. Who's that? Google. Isn't that what they do? To organize the world's information, make it universally accessible and useful. Who hasn't used Google in the last 3 days? I mean, those dudes, they really got it together. And I think that's really important to me about what your mission is about, why you're about. And the other thing I think is that we need to be able to focus on is what is our true competitive advantage? Not we're bigger, we're better, we're faster. A friend of mine here in Hollywood, Jane Smith, wrote a book called Creating Competitive Advantage. And I've done workshops with her on knowing, we work with Hell York, and they've been in business for 75 years. Is that a competitive advantage?
No.
No. They have 250 certified technicians available 24 hours a day. That's a competitive advantage. Okay, waste management, we recycled enough paper to save 41 million trees. That's a competitive advantage.
Well, another way is also a unique selling point.
It is a unique selling point. Gets my attention.
And it's about helping the other versus, I've been in business for a number of years and I'm huge.
Yeah.
I got all these people, ready 24 hours to help you.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah. Did you put those over there right next to it? Yeah, right there, thank you. So let's talk about the systems, okay? Let's go over to page 6. Okay, 3 selling systems, okay? Now, these are supposed to be zooming in.
Do we have a light out?
Can you turn the light up? Those are
No,
supposed
no,
to be zooming
no.
in. But
That better?
You turned off the, you turned off the.
Wrong
Turn
one.
the wrong one.
Oh.
What's our projector?
You broke it.
Uh-huh, you're gonna have to fix it.
Maybe outside. It might be that one right by you.
Better get out.
Bernie's the one, Bernie's is right there.
It's right there.
Oh,
You got it.
Oh.
That was easy.
Now the
Now I know.
projector's not working.
Okay, who's our tech guru?
Here goes something.
Is that a recycle?
you're gonna have to get out.
Maybe yes.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
All the way.
Yep.
There you go.
Good. Little let, no, too far. Got it.
There you go.
Okay, these are supposed to zoom in, so fill them in as you go in. The traditional system, okay, and Makia, we have to get with Maria on that, okay?
Okay.
Not right now.
Okay.
Traditional system, everybody's been through some traditional training, right?
Dale Carnegie.
Right, Dale Carnegie, good stuff, yeah, yeah. And, very good stuff, I've been through it myself. I've worked with Dale Carnegie. And one of my best sales last year, Peter, you like this. By the way, I do have some books for sale later. Huh? Very nice. My best sale last year, Peter, was Bernie shows us how to be our best by drawing upon real-world practical approaches. Scott Garver, CEO, Dale Carnegie.
Really?
That was my best sale. You make my competitor, right? So, everybody's been through, so they teach you to qualify. You get a breath on a glass, or you smoke a mirror, or you get a pulse. Oh, you're qualified. And then they teach you, the second thing is present. Okay, show up and throw up, I call it. Here's what we got. Let me tell you how big we are. We're bigger, we're better, faster. I got my laptop here. Let me show you this, here, and this. Right? You've all seen this.
Mm-hmm.
And then they teach you to handle objections. Okay? I can show you a way, could you buy it today? Oh my God. The movie I was thinking about was Glengarry Glen Ross. Remember that with Alex Baldwin? Oh, it's just a tragedy. Coffees for closers. Right? And then they teach you to close. ABC, always be closing. Okay? Well, what's happened because of that system, the prospect has a system. And the first step in their system is they lie.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to lie to a salesperson and go to heaven. Go to heaven. No, everything's fine. You know, you walk into Dillard's department store in the men's section looking for a suit. Can I help you, sir? No, I'm just looking. I gotta buy a suit. I gotta have it in this weekend. I'm in a wedding. I'm not gonna tell him. So I lie to him. Mommy, there's somebody on the phone, the salesman. Well, tell him I'm not home, honey. We teach our kids to lie to salespeople. Right? So what's a lie sound like in your world? What do they say?
I've got it under control.
I've got it under control. Everything's fine.
Yeah, because we talk to people that are in foreclosure and they're in denial.
Yeah.
They're waiting for their uncle to show up and give them the money.
Remember, denial is not a river in Egypt.
Right?
But it's very long.
Right?
Well, it's closer than you think.
No, I'm saying, but the river is very, very long.
But yes, they're in denial.
Right.
They don't want to admit. And so they say everything's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But salespeople accept these lies. And that's why we got to ask the real question. And the second thing we do is, what do they want from us? Information, proposals, bids. They want all our stuff, and they don't want to pay us for it. We call it unpaid consulting. Anyone do any unpaid consulting last month? Yeah, you know, they're good at it.
Yeah, they always want to know, well, how much is my house worth?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this guy said it's worth this, somebody else said it's worth that.
Mm.
You know, we do it all the time. We end up with nothing but an empty bucket.
Mm.
The third step is line number 2. Well, you know, we've got another division, so maybe if you put the two together, we might be able to do a bigger project for this. Oh, man. Oh, I got one.
A big one.
Yeah, I got a big one. I got a home run here. And then the third step is run and hide. You get voicemail, out to lunch, out of town, in a meeting, on safari. Can't find that bugger. He was my best friend at step 3. Now he won't even call me back. Anybody ever had that one?
Never.
The witness protection program.
Yeah, that's right. I like that, Steve. Yeah. We're running and they're hiding. So, if you see the system and how it comes about, they say qualified lie. They say present all your stuff. Handle objections, say lie, close, run and hide. So, the key is, as Peter knows, is to have a system. Without a system, we'll default to this system every time. That's the biggest problem we have, okay? So, your system, which is our system, as we're working together, any of you, is what we would train you is, the first step in the system is bonding and rapport, okay? Rapport comes from the French word, which means to give back. To be like they are, to speak like they do, to dress like they do. If I'm at a bacon night as a client of mine, if I'm training with them, I wear my white shirt, my red tie, my dark suit, I'll dress like a banker. If I'm going to a software company, I'll wear my Birkenstocks and, you know. And the other thing is something else about bonding. Voicemail, we get voicemail about 72% of the time, right? Voicemail can be a friend. Some people say, hi, this is Reggie, you know what to do. Somebody else may say, hi, this is Reginald. I'm not here to take your call right now. Your call is very important to me. I'm either out of the phone. So I go, Reginald, hi, this is Bernard. I'm sorry I missed you. It's important that we speak. I match and mirror their voice. It's an awesome way of getting return calls. You'd be surprised. And remember, they're all actors and actresses. You get up in the morning, my book is called Showtime. I've developed acting classes with Anthony Vincent Bova and Eric Morris, who coaches Jack Nicholson, Michelle Pfeiffer, Johnny Depp. I'm now working with Frank Lipari, the original Blue Man Group. And we get up in the morning, we go to our dressing room, we select our costume depending upon our audience, right? So when you think about it, we're all actors and actresses. It's showtime, right? So bonding and rapport. Walk into an office and they say, would you like coffee? What do you say to me? Would you like coffee?
Sure.
So ask me, say, would you like coffee?
It's not coffee?
Are you having some?
No.
I'm not having anything. I have a client of mine, JEOL, a Japanese client. Bob Santarelli, 10 years ago, said, would you like coffee? I said, you having some? No, I gave it up 10 years ago. Bob, I don't need anything. I don't want him going down and get me a cup of coffee. CEO? You know, I always say, you having some? You know? Would you like some water? Yeah, you having some water? Yeah. So, again, if you can't bond with someone, you ain't going anywhere. Okay? And so bonding and rapport, we never stop bonding, we're always bonding with them. Okay? Two things people like to hear is their own name and their own voice. Okay? The second step is setting ground rules, or as Peter refers to, upfront contract. One of the greatest tools David Sandler ever came up with is the upfront contract. That's an agreement between two parties about what's going to happen next. Like I said, when we're setting an appointment on the phone, that's an upfront contract. Got your calendar handy, so you're looking at. when I walk in, thank you for inviting me in, you set us up. That's a ground rule. We have to set those ground rules. It's the most powerful time management tool I've ever, I'm sure you would say that too, Peter, ever seen. Set ground rules for yourself and for others. Okay? The third step is I've got to find the decision maker. Who's the decision maker? Who's the person in a position to release the funds to make the pain go away? If I'm just talking to, a supporter, somebody who just wants to gather information, I'm not going anywhere. Gotta ask for the decision maker. And the key question here is to ask, what's the decision process look like here? Key word, well, we need 3 bids, or we need to have testimonials that you have done business in our, what's your decision process? Because when you ask who makes a decision, what do they say?
I
do.
By default.
Yeah, I do. Well, in addition to you, who else would be involved? Well, I've got my CFO and I've got my, take your time, find that decision process, okay? Then I've got to find what's the pain. What's the emotional driver? What's bothering him? What's keeping him up at night? Okay? We have to drill down to find the pain. How long have you had this problem? How have you tried to solve it? Did you give up trying to solve it? Okay? How much would you say it cost you? Okay? How does it make you feel? Power word. Okay? And I'll give you, while I'm on that, let me give you my 7 power words. I do things in chunks of 7, by the way.
Well, it's a lucky number.
7's a lucky number. I learned that from Dr. Bob Horn at Harvard University, who came up with a process of information mapping. Mapping information has a topography. And there are 7 things that people remember, okay? Chunks of 7, okay? 7 days in a week, okay? 7 deadly sins, 7 continents, 7 seas, 7 notes in music, 7 colors in the rainbow, 7 dwarfs, 7 times Elizabeth Taylor was married, okay? 7 habits of highly effective people. So I do things in chunks of 7. Okay? Because I can remember chunks of 7. When I write no more than 7 sentences in a paragraph, no more than 7 paragraphs.
7 tips. for this
7
or
tips.
that.
Yep. It's a magic number. So my 7 power words. Number 1 is the word feel. How do you feel about what we just talked about today? We say, what do you think about it? He says, I'll think it over. Take the word think out of your lexicon. Never use it again. I go home and say to my wife, honey, how do you feel about going, what do you think about going to the movies? Well, it's just, snowbirds are coming down and it's Wednesday night. Honey, how do you feel about going to the movies? Maybe we'll catch an early dinner. Oh, that might be fun. What do you want to see? How do you feel? Not what you think. Okay? That's the head, the heart. Okay? Second power word is invest. Okay, you're looking at an investment here of somewheres to get your car in the condition you want it. Somewheres we're looking around, somewheres around $1,500 to $8,000, depending upon, Don't ever use the word fee, cost, expense. How much does it cost? You're looking at an investment of. Isn't it an investment when you deal with us? It's an investment. Don't worry. Cost, fee, expense, tuition.
Investment gives you a return.
Exactly. Investment gives you a return. And they realize that. Okay? The third power word is fit. As I said, let's sit down and see if there's a fit for what we do. If you see there's a fit, If you see there's no fit, that's okay. Okay? Okay? The fourth one is share. Can you share with me in round numbers what kind of budget you got set aside for this project? Not that you tell me what your budget is. Share. My mother says, Reggie's coming over, Bernie, let him play with your toys. That creep's not playing with my toys. Bernie, Reggie's coming over, share your toys with him. Think about the power of the words. Okay? The fifth one is we. When we're working together, here's how we have to be. You know, we become part of your team. We become part of your organization. You know, we've got to be very open with each other. We have to share the good news and the bad news. We. Okay? Next one is great for having a meeting. Open.
For having what?
For having a meeting.
Oh.
Are you open to sitting down with me and seeing if what we've done for others might work for you? Are you open to inviting me in for 15 minutes or 30 minutes to just give you an overview of what we did? Not open-minded. Are you open? I'm open, but I can't promise you anything. We've been doing business with ABC for years, but I'm open to hearing something new. That's all I want. All I want. And the last one is process, as in decision.
Wait there on this one.
What's the decision process look like around here? Are you okay with those 7 power words?
Yes.
Feel is so important. Okay? Feel, invest, share, we. Okay? So, once I find the pain, now I gotta find the budget. Do they have the money? Now, one of my rules is qualify hard, close easy. And the 3 most important parts of a qualified prospect, they have to have pain, they have to have budget, and they have to have decision. Or you do not have a qualified prospect. PPD. I will not meet with people who don't have pain, budget, and decision. And one of my rules is qualify hard, close easy. Some people have pain and decision, but they don't have any money. We invested all of our valuable time. Some people have pain and decision and no budget. Some people have budget and decision, no pain. I had a referral, Altus USA, cigar company, one of the biggest cigar companies in the world. I met with Rick McKenzie. And I said, well, Rick, tell me about your sales teams. Well, most of our people are route operators. And I said, do you have much turnover? He said, no, we have very little turnover. I said, how are these people compensated? Oh, they're all paid on salary. I said, well, how are sales going? He said, well, we're growing 20% compound for the last 5 years. Rick, I can't help you. What am I going to train these people on? They weren't incentivized. Good referral. They had money, but what can I do? So I'll never forget that lesson. Qualify hard, close easy. Okay? Now I got to close. Now, here's the 7 words Bernie came up with for the close. Okay? I've used it for years. What would you like to do now? What would you like to do now? That's my close. So what would I know? What would you like to do now? Let's get started. That's my own close. And sometimes I'll take their temperature. On a scale of 0 to 10, 0, you're not going to bring me in for training. 10, you're ready to go forward today. Where do you see yourself? Oftentimes they'll say 8, 7. If they say 5 or less, I got to go back to pain. Okay? I had a guy 3 months ago. I said, Rick, on a scale of 0 to 10, 0, you're not going to bring me in. 10, you're ready to do training today. Where do you see yourself? He said, I'm an 8. I said, sounds like we made a lot of progress. What's it going to take to get to 10? He said, Bernie, I don't go to 10. I said, what would you like to do now? He said, let's get the check out, let's get a date, let's get this training going. He closed himself. So what do you do when somebody says, you talk about overcoming objections, I'm going to bring one of these up. Steve, Reggie, what do you say when somebody says, what can you do on your price?
Go down and seek an estimate and come back. No, seriously, when they tell me what can I do on a price, I usually try to make them feel better by, taking a couple of dollars off just to make them feel that they're doing something.
Ask me, say, Bernie, what can you do on your price?
What can you do for the price when you go?
I can go higher. How high would be too high? I love that one. No, don't go higher.
When I had a different company and they would ask for a discount, I said, no problem, okay, we're at $100, let's make it $150, I'll give you a third off. They got it, they got the message.
I like it.
At that point, it was like they felt they had to. People ask for a discount just because they have to. They're there.
Yeah, they're conditioned for that.
They're there, but if that's if you've done all the qualifying and everything else properly.
Yeah.
If not, then they're just using bump pricing. Well, that's not a good client.
No, not a good prospect. No, and they won't become a good client.
Um,
But I love it, the look on their face, I can go higher. We can go higher. Of course, in my world, I say, how can I cut my price and teach your people not to cut their price? But I appreciate the test.
I like that. I like that.
I like that. It's really, you're gonna have some fun. I was on Janie Smith's program a couple months ago. We had about a minute left at the end of the program. And she said, Bernie, what do you think of the two most important ingredients in sales? And we hadn't rehearsed. And I said, Janie, I believe it's guts and humor. And I still believe that to this day. That came right out of my heart. Guts and humor. Right? So, let's take a look here. Can we go move on? Okay? 3 major sales weaknesses. First one is your buy cycle.
On this page, you have, when do you cough up unpaid consulting on your calls?
Oh, yeah, let's go back to page, thank you, Peter, yeah.
I'm not quite sure what coughing up means.
Well, when do you cough up, and then when do you do all kinds of unpaid consulting?
Oh.
When they say, well, tell me about this and tell me about that, what makes you better than these guys, why should I buy for you? We cough it all up and we show up and throw up, okay? So, let's look at the 3 major sales weaknesses, okay? First one is, let's pretend, Reggie, you're gonna buy a flat screen TV, okay? $1,200, you got the money, you're going out to buy it. How would you go about buying it? What would be your process? How would you do that?
Just look around, a few TVs and compare prices versus what I looked at before versus the one I'm looking at now.
How long would it take you to buy it?
I'm not walking in and wasting time, but that's half an hour at most.
Yeah. Okay. You're okay. What happens is, I ask people that story, and sometimes they say, oh, it's gonna take me 5-6 months, I gotta do all this. What happens is, subconsciously, my friends, we sell the way we buy. Think about that. We sell the way we buy. If you're a long buy cycle, and my wife is, you're not going to be an effective salesperson, because when somebody says they want to think it over, or they want to look around, we say to ourselves, that makes sense, I would do that. So what happens is a long sales cycle. Yeah. So your buy cycle, think about it. Because, a decision not to make a decision is a decision. And only decision makers can get others to make decisions. And we gotta be decision makers, even if it's no. The second one is need for approval. That's the Willie Loman principle. Anybody ever read Death of a Salesman? Yeah, it's a tragedy. Nobody ever knew what he sold. I saw it in New York. I saw it in Boston with tears in my eyes. It's a tragedy. He used to say to his son, Biff, it's important to be liked. It's not important to be liked, it's important to be respected. I want you to like me, but I don't need it. And the third major weakness is talking about money. How many of you besides me grew up in a family where you didn't talk about money? Now we're going to talk about sometimes a lot of money. But psychologically, we've got to become aware that, I like Warren Buffett. Buffett said, price is what you pay, value is what you get. If they're out there just wanna buy and commoditize me, I'm not yours. Good luck to you. Move on. So we gotta realize that we bring value to our clients. And then the 3 reasons people fail in sales: fear of rejection. How does everybody feel about being rejected here?
Gets the nose out of the way.
Get the nose out of the way.
Don't feel good.
My belief is no one can reject me without my permission. And how you feel about me is none of my business. How I feel about me is my business. Okay? I'm an honorable, worthy, conscientious, deliver good value. Clients are satisfied. I just had a call from John Antevi, one of my clients. He started a company 10 years ago called eBuilder. It's a software support system for construction. He just sold the company March 3rd, $44 million cash. He gives me a lot of credit for it. But you know what he's most happy about? He made 9 millionaires out of his employees. 9 of his employees had stock up. What a wonderful guy. I mean, you know, he didn't say, oh, I get all this money, but Bernie, 9 of my people are now millionaires. Just talked to me the other day. Imagine that. He said, you're a big part of my success. Doesn't that make you feel good? Yes, it does. Send me a check, John.
Yeah, show me how much you like.
I love you, but.
Maybe the 10.
So fear of rejection, fear of failure, we have to fail a lot. Okay? You gotta fall down. Believe it or not, people have a fear of success.
Yeah.
Why is there so much fear though? Why is that? Are we just programmed that way?
We learn it, we're taught it by our parents and teachers and friends and guardians, and we grow up, look at little kids, they don't know any fear at all.
Right.
But we learn it. Think about it. You know, there's a great book out by Susan Jeffers called, I recommend to my clients, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. Jeffers, Susan. Great book about, we all have fears. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, but Susan wrote a great book about.
What's the name again? Fear?
Feel the fear and do it anyway. Awesome book. It's part of my library, I recommend it to my clients. We're gonna deal with our fears. I say fear means for false expectancies appearing real. Or forget everything about rejection. Fear, we all have it. What the hell? You know, I was with a very successful client a number of years ago. Harvey Polly was his name. He owned more railroad cars than anybody back in those days. He bought from Colgate, Palmolive, one of their big divisions. Very successful guy. And I said, Harvey, we're in New York. What's the key to your success? He said, Bernie, I'm a downside player. I said, what do you mean? I always look at what's the worst that can happen. He said, he bought a bank and he didn't like banking. He said, I figured if I don't keep it, I'm going to lose $1 million. He lost $1 million. And he said, that was my threshold. And, you know, be a downside player. What's the worst thing that can happen by calling someone? They hang up on you. So what do you do then?
Call another one.
Call them back and say, we got disconnected. Right? What the hell? Yeah. One of the things I like to, hi, this is a cold call. You got 30 seconds? You'd be surprised. I was going to write a book about that. Yeah. I had a CEO of this company. I was referred into him, and he wouldn't return my call. About 6 months ago, I had this genius attack. I called him and I said, Warren, this is Bernie. I've left you several messages. I've just got one question. How come I get up in the morning, I can speak to God, but I can't speak to you?
Whoa.
He called me back. You teach my guys to do that shit.
That's good.
I don't understand how people get pissed at you, to use that, sorry for the language, when you call their cell phone, but it's on their business card.
I know. Nowadays, they are on the business
Yeah,
card.
it's like, my only number is my cell phone now, but it's like,
You know, you're calling my cell phone?
Yeah, it's on the business
You
card.
gave
don't
it to
want-
me.
It just
Yeah,
amazes
give it
me.
to me. Well, want me to call you at home, or just go home and I'll call you there?
Do people have separate numbers for home anymore?
Not anymore.
Yes.
I don't-
Yeah, phones with wires?
Yeah, I know. How many of you have a home phone? Anybody here?
Not anymore, left it
Yeah.
left it
I have
behind.
one, but it's still not, it's not even
Take it
plugged.
out. Yeah,
What's calling you on that?
not anymore.
Left it behind.
Oh, and you know, something's very good, that people do pick up their cell phone.
Yep.
And so if you look over on page 8 here, here's my cut and pelt. I wrote an article called Cut, Pick Up the Telephone. I was gonna put PUTFT, but I was told that was a little strong, so I just made it cut.
Okay, so
80% of sales are made in the 5th to 12th contact. How about that? Hanging in there. Okay? And so, let's look over on page 9, Bernie's 9 rules for increasing your sales and service effectiveness. Okay? The first call rule, the call you make first is the call you want to make least. Think about that. That's what it says in the back of my phone. The call you make first is the call you want to make least. Otherwise, do this, now call later, we all do it, you know. But then you make that call, and wasn't so bad after all. The 48-hour rule, if you don't do it within 48 hours, you probably won't. If you go to a networking meeting, or a conference, or go to a trade show, you know, do it within 48 hours. The 70-30 rule, you talk 30% and listen 70%. Because you can't learn anything when you're talking. Okay?
That's why you have 2 ears and 1 mouth.
Yep. We want to talk a course in listening. See? Where?
His wife.
Most people don't know how to listen. I talk, Peter talks. Well, Peter talk, I think about what I'm gonna say. 2 monologues. We do a program, active program on active listening. What I hear you saying is there more to that? Is there any more? Is that it? Really? How does that make you feel?
Well, there's an interesting thing between active listening and passive listening.
Active listening and passive listening, right on. Yep, active listening.
It's very more powerful because you get the real pain of it.
You get the real pain. Yep.
And one of the things that I've found, and
Yep.
one of the things that I've found, and that actually goes back into the initial upfront contract, you know, is I take notes. And I always ask, is it okay if I take notes?
I do that too, yep.
I had somebody go nuts on me, is, why are you writing down everything I say? He was like, they thought that I was like a spy or something, it was weird. What I always learned from that is, and why, if you ever ask me a question, because it's important, my memory's not great, but I want to get what you say. And, you know, and that's part of the active listening is, you know, if you're taking it down, you're getting, you know, getting tactile and kinetic and oral all together. And at the same time, you're focusing on what you're doing versus coming up with your next,
It's
you
a
know,
great way to do it. And something,
cue line.
yeah, something, I do that, I say, you know, I say, let's pretend we're getting ready to leave, what do you want to cover today? You mind if I take some notes? I have my folder with me.
Yeah.
And something else that I do, especially if it's a big client, a big potential, and this is really powerful, it helps me with the notes. I send a meeting recap the next day. Okay, it's an attachment. You know, who was there, Bernie was there, the president was there, agenda, what we discussed, next step. I sent it to him, it's an amazing way to recap.
Do you ever send an agenda in advance?
Yes, yes,
Because we used to do that, that was part of the program.
yeah, I'd love to do that. You know, we need to do this, we need to do that. Here's what we're gonna talk about. Yes, it's a great way to do it. Okay, the the 3x9 rule, very powerful. If you make 3 sales calls by 9 a.m. every day, I guarantee you'll increase your effectiveness by 20%. 3x9. It's 5 minutes to 9, I gotta make those calls. Just even if you want just a dial, I don't care if you're gonna connect, just a dial. It's a great habit to get into. Be surprised, you get some people on the phone before a 9 o'clock meeting. 10 minutes to 9, quarter to 9. 1090 rule, we only use 10% of our true potential. Just do it. 90-10 rule, 90% of what we worry about never happens. It's true. And the 80% rule I got from Woody Allen, 80% of success is showing up. And the 250 rule, remember, everybody knows 250 people. That's where it goes back to referrals, introductions, you know, growing your business. And so, let's look at some of the things up here, okay, as we close. Overcoming objections, okay? Remember, objections are merely requests for more information. Objections are real, they're positive. If there's no objections, there's probably no interest. So, you know, and I would teach you ways to do that. You must be telling me that for a reason, you know. Is that something that's really important to you? Is that something we should discuss further? You know, is price the only reason you're going to do business with us? If it is, it probably won't be me. I didn't say it would. But write down the objections, and they usually, believe it or not, they'll fall into about 7. I worked with 250 people at the Boston Herald, and different groups of 20, and almost all had the same objection. My people don't read that paper. You know, I don't like that writer. It's amazing. If you write down your common objections, you'll probably get less than 10. Okay? Peter?
Do you go for the agreement at that point with the objection of, okay, if, you know, I hear what you're saying, and if we can satisfy and clear up these objections, are we ready to move?
Yes. Yeah, we're ready to move forward. So let's talk about, here's
Upfront
what you see
contract.
as here's what you see as an issue. And that's a good point you brought up. So let's talk about how we would do that. You know, what would happen, you know, Bernie, if we're doing the training, we're gonna get you or we get somebody else? Well, let's talk about how that would be, you know. That's a good point. Well, we just want you, you know. I have other associates who are very, very good. And we might split up the training, but I want you to meet first before we do anything. Okay, all right, we're satisfied. It has my endorsement, you know. And so, close fast. I like to let the prospect close themselves. And that's why I say, what would you like to do now? My 7 steps into close. Sometimes they're already closed before you meet them. If they got a good referral and introduction, they're ready to buy. You're just showing up and filling out the application. Never say press hard, third copy's yours. That one kills me.
Oh, God.
That's the old one.
They never say what?
Never say press hard, third copy's yours. That's an old one.
Carbon paper.
Yeah, right, remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Getting to the decision maker. Yes, belief that you have the right to call the decision maker. The worst thing is you call high in the organization, you get sent down. Well, no, Mr. Jones wouldn't handle that, but you know, the CFO would be handling that. Oh, who would that be? Now you call the CFO. I was just speaking with Mr. Jones' office. They suggested I call you. Start at the top. You start at the bottom and try to go up. Then to piss them off, or you won't be able to get through, or, you know, they just want you to do unpaid consulting.
Maybe threatened.
Yeah, if they feel threatened. Yeah. The decision maker is the person in a position to release the funds to make the pain go away. He's the guy that's up at night. You know, and sometimes they don't want to, you know. I had this guy one time, he said, I said, I understand you got 23 salespeople. Fred, he said, no, I got 23 guys that walk around carrying business cards. I said, what's the problem they have? Is it getting to the decision maker? Is it finding the budget? Closing? Closing! These poor bastards couldn't close their eyes. I said, well, let me ask you a question. He said, yeah. I said, who hired them? He said, I did. I said, how do I tell you without you getting upset that you're the problem? Tears in his eyes. He closed the door, took out his checkbook, and said, yeah, I'm the problem. I took him right into pain.
Beautiful.
Academy Award. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Lord. But you remember those things too. You know.
Beautiful.
You know? But Ben Feldman, the greatest salesman in New York Life, said the key to the sale is the interview. The key to the interview is the disturbing question. Okay? How's it going to make you feel if you don't do something? how you gonna make you feel if you have to keep doing the same thing over and over? So, networking, get to a networking meeting early, okay? I like to see the names that are on the desk, who's there. Not with us anymore, but when I see Wayne Heisinger at the place, I see table 36, make sure I go by and say hello to Wayne, or see somebody there, the list of people, and get there early. You know, my goal was to leave with 2 business cards and all of mine, and 2 upfront contracts. We're gonna make phone appointments. That's another one too, make a phone appointment with somebody. You know, it sounds like let's make a phone appointment. What's a good time to call you? Tuesday the 12th would be good. What's a good time? 10 o'clock. Then when you call, hi, it's Bernie. I have a 10 o'clock phone appointment with Peter. Can you put me through? Make phone appointments.
He's expecting my call.
He's expecting my call. Certainly do.
Love it.
Yeah, I love it.
And you skipped over number 4.
Oh yeah, past the gatekeeper.
I want to make an objection to that. If you take that mentality that if that person is the gatekeeper, we make them the gatekeeper.
Absolutely
They're the
right.
receptionist, and if you connect with them, and I used to go, I was a champion cold caller on the phone and up and down office buildings in Manhattan until security called me. But that's the person who can be your enemy.
Yeah.
Or
your
give
friend.
you a huge amount of information if you play it right.
And that's good. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pass by that, but it's called pattern interrupt. Okay? Thank you. Okay, Rich. It's called pattern interrupt. Okay? The gatekeeper knows or the receptionist knows you're a salesperson when you say 2 things. You know, hi there, can I speak with Peter? Okay? Interrupt their pattern. So here's the call. Listen to this. Hi, it's Bernie for Peter, is he in? Now she can't ask who's calling, because I told her Bernie. Her mother says, tell the truth, Peter's in. Okay, can you put me through? Psychologically, hi, it's Bernie for Peter, is he in? All my calls like that. Hi, Bernie for Peter, is he in? We interrupt their pattern. Now she may ask, what's it about? I got a message here to call him. I had a gatekeeper, an owner of a company up in Hartford, Connecticut. He said, don't put anyone through salespeople except for 2 to his receptionist. Someone who said they could increase income or decrease expenses. And that's all you had to say to speak to the CEO of a $50 million company. So yeah, hi, it's Bernie for, I do it, I call my brother, hi Hope, it's Bernie for Dan, is he in? I just do it automatically.
Can you help me?
Yeah, can you help me?
Can you help me?
In Colombo.
Yeah.
Can you help me?
Absolutely. Colombo is fabulous at that, and it's a great living, a great self. But it is literally, hey, or the decompress where I'm not looking to talk to anybody right now. If you're really going in cold, I'm not looking to talk to you, but hope you can help me. Just give me some information. Is this the right mailing address?
Yeah, is this the 703-483? Do I have the right number?
Yeah, it's actually right, the right mailing address, and this is what I do. It's
Not
like,
okay.
Who would I reach out to in the proper way? Who handles this kind of stuff? And they will give you that information.
Effective marketing, that's up to you guys with branding and all the things that you guys do. And find clients, make a list of who they got. Bless you. Make a list of who's your elephants. Who do you want? Okay. Something else I recommend is called my top 10. Make a list of the top 10 centers of influence that you have. People that can help you. 3 things. I have to figure out what can they do for me, what can I do for them, and establish contacts with them. Okay. Dr. Miles Martell, who wrote the foreword to my book. My books are back there if anyone wants them.
Salud.
$20 a piece, and I'll autograph them. Dr. Miles Martell was Ronald Reagan's speech and debate coach, and he'll be coming down next week. Now I'm going to reach and touch out and get together with Miles so we can have breakfast, make sure I have a touch with him, because I know he's away for 6 months, those kind of things. So, questions? I know everybody's getting ready to leave, closing in at 5 o'clock. So who are my golfers here? Golfers? No golfers.
I gave it up because no one was laughing hard enough.
I live on a golf course, And, you know what, and I belong to 3 country clubs, but you know what golf clubs are like, you know, people gossip all the time. And we had this friend of ours, Arthur and Rose, they were married for about 40 years, and Rose passed away, and, about 3 months ago, and, Arthur showed up last Thursday at the club, this new young lady, ravishing beauty. Everybody's saying, oh, look at Arthur. Hey, he didn't wait long for Rose to be dead, huh? I wonder if he knew her before. You think he was cheating? Everybody's talking. I get home that night, I say to my wife, Helen, if I go off to the great beyond, are you gonna hook up with somebody? She says, probably. I said, well, you could have waited a minute. Is he gonna drive my car? She said, yeah, if he wants to. Is he gonna live in a house up in Gloucester? Well, if he wants to. Is he gonna drive my golf cart? She says, if he wants to. Is he gonna use my golf clubs? No, he's left-handed. So, I'll leave you folks with that one. I hope you got a couple of genius attacks to go home with. I've got something here that, an invitation for everyone, if you would, if everyone wants to bring me in to do some goal setting, I'll be very happy to do it. I'm expecting to work. Anybody got one? Anybody have any other questions, comments? Oh, hey, how about the rest of the slides?
Huh?
I forgot. Here's our 9 rules. Keep going. Okay, one more. Okay, one more. One more. One more.
Yeah.
Okay, has anybody ever been on Hope Island? Okay, there's an island up in the sky, it's populated with salespeople. I call it Hope Island. Okay? I hope they call me back, I hope I get the deal, I hope this happens. I have a timeshare up there if anybody wants to go up there. Go visit Mike. So
But
don't
how do
go
you
up-
know that it's up in heaven?
Because all the salespeople are there, they're already dead. Hope
But how
Island.
do you know they went to heaven?
I had a friend of mine sent me a picture the other day with somebody on Hope Island, and he put my picture in it. With my client. Questions?
I got a great thing which I saved off of one of the brands of tea I drink, little sayings on the tag, and it was, "Someday is not a day of the week."
Ooh.
You were talking about, your days and using that just like really, the 48-hour rule really just